Pain is the price of transformation. When you walk into the gym, you're stepping into a space where comfort doesn't exist. The iron doesn't care how tired you are, how stressed you feel, or what kind of day you had. The weights don't adjust themselves to your mood. They demand effort, and that effort comes with pain. That's the first truth you must accept. Transformation has a price, and that price is pain. Think about it. Every rep you push, every set you grind through, every extra plate you load onto the bar, it all comes with discomfort. Your muscles scream, your lungs burn, your mind whispers, "Stop, this hurts too much." But in that exact moment, you're standing at the edge of change. Growth does not come from ease. It comes from tension, from resistance, from the willingness to endure pain and push through it. Pain is not an enemy, it's a teacher. It's telling you that something is happening inside your body. When your muscles tear, they're preparing to rebuild stronger. When your heart pounds and your breath shortens, it's because your endurance is leveling up. Pain is the language of progress. If you feel it, you know you're moving forward. If you don't feel it, you're stuck where you are. Most people try to avoid pain at all costs. They want quick results without sacrifice. They want strength without sweat. But the truth is this: nothing worth having comes without struggle. That body you dream of, that discipline you crave, that confidence you want, it all has a toll, and the toll is pain. The ones who succeed are the ones who learn not just to accept it, but to welcome it. Pain strips away weakness. It reveals your real character. When you're pushing the last few reps and everything in you is telling you to quit, pain is there as a test. Will you let it stop you, or will you let it sharpen you? Champions are not made in moments of comfort. They're built in the fire of struggle, in the grind that hurts, in the pain that forces them to go beyond their limits. Think about it like this: every scar, every ache, every sore muscle is proof that you fought. It's proof that you didn't sit back and settle for average. Pain is the signature on your journey, the evidence that you showed up, put in the work, and paid the price. Without it, there is no transformation, no new strength, no progress. The gym is not just a place where muscles grow, it's where character is forged, and character is forged in the flames of pain. If you can face the discomfort, if you can look it in the eye and say, "I'm not backing down," then you'll rise above not only in the gym, but in life. Because pain doesn't just build your body, it builds your spirit. It teaches resilience, patience, and toughness. So the next time pain shows up in your workout, don't see it as punishment. See it as a sign that you're on the right path. Every drop of sweat, every burning muscle, every moment you want to quit but don't, that's transformation happening in real time. That's your body evolving, your mind toughening, your willpower sharpening. You see, pain isn't here to break you, it's here to build you, and the more you embrace it, the stronger, tougher, and more unshakable you become. So stop fearing it, stop running from it, lean into it. Own it, because pain is the price of transformation. And if you're willing to pay it, the reward is greatness. The gym is a battleground. Step into the gym and look around. The clanging of weights, the sound of heavy breathing, the sweat dripping onto the floor. This isn't just a room with equipment. This is a battleground. Every single day you walk through those doors, you're stepping into a war, and your opponent isn't the guy next to you or the person posting pictures online. Your opponent is you. The weaker you, the lazy you, the doubtful you. This is where you fight for discipline. This is where you confront excuses. This is where you silence the voice in your head that says, "You've done enough, take it easy." That voice is your enemy, and the gym is where you learn how to crush it. Every dumbbell, every barbell, every set. It's not just physical training, it's combat. Combat against procrastination. Combat against mediocrity. Combat against the old version of yourself that wants to stay the same. The battlefield is never fair. Some days you'll feel strong and motivated, ready to crush everything. Other days you'll drag yourself in with low energy, heavy thoughts, and no desire to move. But this is exactly what separates warriors from the weak. On the days you don't want to fight, when the battle feels impossible, That's when you must step forward, because victory doesn't come to the one who only fights when it's easy. It comes to the one who fights no matter what. Every rep is a punch thrown against weakness. Every set is a strike against fear. Every time you add more weight, you're proving to yourself that you are capable of more than you thought. This is not about chasing a perfect workout or waiting until you feel like it. Feelings don't belong on the battlefield. Action does, consistency does, sacrifice does, and here's the reality. The gym is not just preparing you to lift weights, it's preparing you for life, because life is another battlefield, full of challenges, setbacks, and opponents you never expected. If you can conquer yourself in the gym, if you can drag your body through exhaustion, push when you want to quit, and show up day after day, then you'll be ready for the wars outside those doors. Look at the scars of battle, calloused hands, sore muscles, the aches that linger after a hard session. These are not signs of weakness. They are your armor. They're proof that you fought, proof that you showed up, proof that you didn't let the enemy within win. Every single workout is a victory. Every time you finish when you wanted to stop, you leave that battlefield stronger than before. But don't forget, this war never ends. The gym will always test you. The enemy inside will always try to rise again. That's why discipline is key. Discipline is your weapon. Without it, you'll fall. With it, you'll rise every time. Discipline says, I don't care how you feel. We're going to war today. Discipline drags you out of bed. Discipline keeps you grinding when motivation is gone. So when you walk into the gym, don't just think of it as exercise. Think of it as war. You are a warrior, and this is your battleground. And the beauty of this fight is that every battle you win makes you stronger, sharper, and more prepared for the next. Remember this: nobody can fight this war for you. Nobody can lift your weights. Nobody can do your push-ups. Nobody can sweat your sweat. This battle is yours and yours alone, but the reward is worth it, because when you conquer yourself in the gym, you'll discover that there's nothing in life you cannot face. The gym is a battleground, and every time you walk in, you're not just training your body, you're proving to yourself that you are a fighter, and fighters don't quit. Fighters don't back down. Fighters rise again and again until victory is theirs. Growth lives outside comfort. Comfort is the silent killer of progress. Comfort whispers, stay where you are. You've done enough. You deserve to relax. It makes you believe that the easy path is the smart path, that safety is success. But here's the truth: nothing worth building, whether it's muscle, strength, or character, grows inside comfort. Growth only exists in the place where comfort dies. Think about the gym. The first set always feels manageable, maybe even easy. But as the weight gets heavier and your body begins to shake, that's when the real work begins. That's where growth starts. When your muscles are burning and your lungs are begging for relief, you are stepping beyond comfort. And it is in that exact space, that uncomfortable, painful, grueling space, where your body begins to transform. Growth doesn't come from what you already know you can handle. It comes from pushing past what you thought was possible. It comes from saying, one more rep, when your arms are trembling. It comes from adding more weight when your mind is screaming that it's too much. It comes from walking into the gym on the days you want to do anything but train. That's where growth is born, in the sacrifice of comfort. Most people fail because they live their whole lives inside the prison of comfort. They don't want to sweat too much. They don't want to feel sore. They don't want to challenge themselves because it's hard. But hard is the price of greatness, and until you step into that difficult, uncomfortable place, you'll stay exactly where you are. Here's the reality: comfort never changes you. Comfort keeps you the same. Comfort says, why push for more when this is good enough? But good enough is the enemy of greatness. Every time you choose comfort, you choose to remain average. And if you're in the gym, if you're chasing fitness, if you're hungry for transformation, You must decide that average is not for you. Comfort is seductive. It feels good in the moment, but it robs you of what you could become. Growth is brutal. Growth hurts. Growth demands sacrifice, but the reward is power, resilience, strength, and pride. When you look in the mirror and see the body you've built, when you feel the strength that wasn't there before, when you realize the mental toughness you've developed, that's when you'll understand why leaving comfort was worth it. Ask yourself this: do you want the temporary relief of comfort, or do you want the permanent pride of growth? Because you can't have both. Comfort might give you rest, but growth gives you transformation. And if transformation is what you're after, you must go where it's uncomfortable. This doesn't just apply to the gym. Life itself works the same way. If you always play it safe, if you never take risks, if you never push past your limits, you'll never grow into your full potential. But if you're willing to walk into the fire, face the unknown, and endure the grind, you'll discover strength you didn't even know you had. The gym is your training ground for this truth. Every time you pick up that barbell, you're teaching yourself to embrace discomfort. Every time you push through a tough set, you're reminding yourself that pain is temporary, but pride is forever. Every time you reject comfort, you're stepping closer to the version of yourself you were meant to become. So the next time comfort whispers in your ear, tempting you to skip the gym, to take it easy, to stop when it hurt, so remember this: growth lives outside comfort. And if you want to build the body, the strength, the mindset, and the life you dream of, you must be willing to leave comfort behind. Because comfort will never make you a warrior, discomfort will. Discipline over motivation. Motivation is powerful, but it's unreliable. Motivation comes and goes like the weather. One day you feel unstoppable, the next day you don't even want to lace up your shoes. If you rely only on motivation, you'll fail every time. Why? Because motivation is a feeling, and feelings are temporary. What builds champions, what creates unstoppable athletes, what transforms ordinary people into extraordinary ones, is discipline. Discipline will always carry you further than motivation ever could. Think about this. When you first start your fitness journey, motivation is sky high. You're excited, you've got energy, you're ready to go. But what happens 2 weeks later when the soreness sets in, when results aren't showing yet, when the workouts feel repetitive? Motivation begins to fade. That's when most people quit. That's when gyms empty out and dreams collapse. But the disciplined don't quit. They show up even when they don't feel like it. Discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't want to do it. Discipline doesn't care if you're tired, if you're sore, if you had a long day, or if your mood is off. Discipline simply says, this is what we do, and we're going to do it. That's why it's stronger than motivation, because discipline doesn't depend on emotion. It depends on commitment. Let's break it down. Motivation is about excitement, but discipline is about consistency. Motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. Motivation is the spark, but discipline is the firewood that keeps the flame alive. If you want lasting results, in fitness, in life, in anything, you must learn to depend on discipline. When you rely on motivation, you'll work out only on good days. But when you rely on discipline, you'll work out every day you're supposed to, regardless of how you feel. That's why the disciplined rise above the rest. While others are waiting for the right time or the right feeling, the disciplined are putting in work day after day, brick by brick, building their legacy. Discipline also builds trust within yourself. When you say you're going to do something and you follow through, even when it's hard, you're proving to yourself that your word means something. That trust becomes strength, because now you know you can count on yourself. That self-trust carries over into every area of life. You become more confident, more resilient, more unstoppable. Motivation can inspire you, but discipline transforms you. Discipline is waking up early when the alarm goes off instead of hitting snooze. Discipline is going to the gym after a long day at work instead of collapsing on the couch. Discipline is sticking to your nutrition when cravings tempt you. Discipline is refusing to break the promises you made to yourself. Here's the raw truth. Champions are not made by feelings. They are made by discipline. Nobody wakes up motivated every single day, but champions show up anyway. They put in the work, even when it's boring, even when it's painful, even when it's inconvenient. And that consistency builds greatness. Ask yourself this: are you building your life on feelings or on discipline? Feelings change every day. Discipline builds every day. Feelings are temporary. Discipline is permanent. And when you choose discipline, results will come, slowly at first, then suddenly, until one day you'll look back and realize that you've become a completely different person. So stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. What exists is discipline, the unbreakable decision that no matter what happens, no matter how you feel, you will show up and put in the work. Because at the end of the day, it's not motivation that builds strength. It's not motivation that builds muscles. It's not motivation that transforms your life. It's discipline. And if you want to be unstoppable, you must master it. Sacrifice is necessary. Everything great you want in life comes with a price. That price is not just pain, not just sweat. It's sacrifice. If you want to build a stronger body, a sharper mind, or a greater future, you have to give something up. The world will not hand you success while you cling to your old habits, your comfort zones, or your easy choices. Sacrifice is the currency of transformation, and if you're not willing to pay it, you'll never hold what you dream of. Let's talk fitness. You want to build muscle. You want to shred fat. You want to feel stronger, faster, unstoppable. Then sacrifices must be made. That might mean saying no to late nights so you can wake up early to train. That might mean skipping fast food and choosing clean meals instead. That might mean staying consistent in the gym while your friends are out partying. The sacrifices may feel heavy in the moment, but they're building you into someone who is greater than the person who avoids them. Here's the truth: sacrifice separates the serious from the casual. Everyone wants results, but only the few are willing to trade comfort for discipline, short-term pleasure for long-term power, and that's why so few people succeed. They want transformation, but they refuse to give up what is holding them back. They want strength, but they don't want to sacrifice laziness. They want health, but they don't want to sacrifice unhealthy habits. But the equation never changes. You cannot gain without giving something up. Sacrifice is not punishment, it's an investment. Every time you sacrifice a comfort, you're depositing into the bank of your future self. The late nights you skip, the junk food you refuse, the distractions you cut out, all of it adds up. One day, you'll look in the mirror, and the body staring back at you will be proof that your sacrifices were not in vain. Most people fear sacrifice because they think it means loss. But what you're really doing is trading something small for something greater. You're giving up weakness for strength. You're giving up momentary pleasure for lifelong pride. You're giving up excuses for results. Sacrifice is not about losing, it's about choosing the greater reward over the lesser one, choosing growth over stagnation, choosing your future over your impulses. Sacrifice also builds toughness. When you deny yourself what's easy, when you take the harder road, you're training your mind to be stronger than your cravings, stronger than your temptations. That mental toughness becomes unshakable. Because if you can sacrifice for the gym, you can sacrifice in life. If you can control your choices in the gym, you can control your choices everywhere. Let me tell you this: the ones who sacrifice always rise. The ones who are willing to pay the price always succeed, because they understand that nothing worth having comes free. The body you want, the strength you dream of, the success you chase, they all demand a price. And when you pay it through sacrifice, you separate yourself from the masses who are too weak to let go of what's holding them down. So ask yourself, what are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to give up excuses? Are you willing to sacrifice wasted time, unhealthy habits, and comfort? Are you willing to give up temporary pleasures for permanent results? Because the answer to that question will determine your future. The truth is simple. If you want greatness, you must sacrifice. If you want transformation, you must sacrifice. If you want strength, you must sacrifice. The road to power, the road to victory, the road to becoming your best self is paved with sacrifice. So stop holding on to what's keeping you average. Let it go. Pay the price, because the reward is worth it.